Alrighty, let's get started. So we're gonna call that the Twitch farm, just because, well, first time streaming on Twitch here. So thanks for joining, if you're watching this after the fact. I don't like that weird, like, zigzaggy thing on the back of the shirt, so we're gonna keep going. There we go. Much better. Purpley eyes. Purpley hair. There's a theme here. Can you see it? Skip the intro. And because otters, we're gonna go the Riverland farm this time around. I might switch that up if we get some people watching, probably on a different day. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get this started. So. I love the music in this game. It's just perfect for exactly what you'd want while playing kind of a Harvest Moon inspired game, you know? Nothing good on TV. Light us a fire. Alright, let's clear some of this junk out, huh? I usually don't clear my whole farm, just because I tend not to need all of the space, and I like to do kind of a variety going in. Turn on tool hit locations here. But yeah, all we really need at first is kind of a small little area here, just for our free parsnips. And I'll buy some more seeds, because I tend to kind of plan my bundles and hold on to stuff for way too long, but that'll be alright. That'll be okay. Definitely, the only real goal that I tend to have on the very first day is just kind of get enough wood to make a chest, clear out some of the junk, and I actually haven't played this game in quite some time, so I'm actually not very familiar with the sorry, having a moment. The Riverland farm. I don't think you can catch, like, great fish here, but I think the aesthetic of kind of having all this water here is really nice. But I know that it's kind of limited as far as, like, the usable land goes. So, we're just gonna kind of do what we can with it, because as you can see kind of off to the left there, too, there's, land that isn't farmable as well, which kind of puts a damper on things, usually, when you're playing your farming game and can't farm some of the land. But yeah, it's alright. It'll be fine. Some things that I like to focus on is, I really like the, I guess, the mushroom cave. Is something that I really enjoy. We've got Pierre open, so we'll go and take a look at what he's got. But I end up foraging a lot instead of, I guess, getting super involved with, like, the animals and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I do still get involved with the animals. We're actually going to make a chest here real quick. Drop off some of this good stuff we have down here. Again, thematically, purple. There we go. I couldn't remember how to drop stuff. But yeah, so not a bad first day so far. We've got some random forage stuff, and we're gonna go buy some seeds from Pierre because he's open, and just kind of see where the day takes us. I guess maybe try and meet some people. I usually like to try and meet Sebastian kind of early on. And obviously I'm going to say hi to people that I run into to try and kind of get this introductions quest out of the way. Just because that can kind of be a big pain in the behind. And then, like I said, I like to plan a little bit. So we're going to kind of get one of each seed that would be needed for one of the later bundles. And then because we need 4 gold... 5 gold? 4 gold. 5 gold parsnips. For one of the bundles, we're going to go ahead and grab a bunch of parsnips. And I'm pretty much just going to end up farming parsnips for most of spring. I'll probably switch it up to kale, though. I don't know why. I really don't care for kale in person, like, as a human being. But, there's a market for it, and you know, we've got some of our mixed seeds here too, so hopefully we can make some money quickly and get things moving. Generally, as far as who I like to pursue, I tend to go after Shane. Just, I don't know, something about him. But with this being a stream and all, I guess I'd be open to some suggestions, even so far as to go straight. I know. But yeah, so not off to a bad start so far. Now it's day 1. Can't expect too much. I remember... Oh, I already talked to Marnie. I can't remember correctly, but I think Sebastian leaves his home around 5. So I try and kind of keep busy up until that point. But yeah, so we're just playing vanilla here, and enjoying our villagers, our townspeople. Pam's not home. We'll go say hello to the blacksmith. Try and get some of these out of the way people out of the way. Because at the very least we know where to find them right now, you know? So, I'm trying to think who else we might have missed that would normally be around at this time. Oh, the other thing that I like to do early is I like to open up a path from the southern side of the farm where you can kind of get there through the forest. And that tends to be super helpful. Because, like I said, I tend to forage a lot, and I know I'm on the Riverland map and not the forest map, but I don't know, it's helpful because, especially when you're doing hardwood, it tends to be super helpful to be able to just kind of plop right back into your farm. Because the hardwood grind sometimes can get a little tedious. Sorry, I was counting. Yeah, it tends to get a little tedious, but it's kind of a necessary part if you want to upgrade parts of the farm. especially the house, I believe, needs a lot of hardwood at a certain point. To the point where you just kind of have to go every day and go down there and grab a bunch and stockpile it. You can get 12 hardwood a day from the like the hidden forest. So it ends up being helpful. It ends up being useful, you know. But yeah, so there's day one in the books. Made a little bit of money off of our leek and our clam. Not as much as we would have liked. I would have liked to probably forage a little bit more, but that's okay. We got all the time in the world. So, alright, day 3 we're going to have rain, which is good. That means I can kind of focus on some other things. Like, usually when it rains, I like to focus on either fishing, which we're going to get our fishing rod from Willy, or I like to focus on... Oh, I didn't go to meet Sebastian. Dang it. Sorry. But yeah, I like to focus on the mines once the mines become available. But I tend to do a lot of this, which is just kind of running and planning the crops part. And you end up making a lot of money, but it's slow money. So what I found too is that when I play with other people... Ooh, worms. Clay. Useful, but not useful. When I play this co-op with other people, I'm not sure if multiplayer's out of beta, but I want to say that it is. Usually what I'll end up doing is I kind of stick to my big grand farm plan, where I'm kind of separating things into sectors, and I don't like to automate the process. I don't know why. I don't really feel like the iridium is worth it. We're gonna catch Shane on his way to work here and get that introduction out of the way. Ooh, we're stuttering a little bit. Okay, cleared up because I pointed it out. So there's Willy smoking his pipe. I think he's Willy. Yeah, he's Willy. So he goes ahead and he gives us a bamboo fishing rod, which isn't the greatest, but it's not bad. He gives it to us out of the kindness of his heart, because we're new in town and all that, and that he likes when people fish, probably so he can sell you some stuff, you know? But yeah, so he gives us a bamboo pole, and we can definitely use that. Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So usually when I play the co-op with other people, I end up kind of doing this big grand farm thing because I like to use crops as the main way to make my money, with it being a farming game and all. And what ends up happening is whoever I play with ends up actually doing kind of things that make a little bit more money, like, regularly. Sorry, real quick, my first goal is actually going to be this bridge here, I think. 300 pieces of wood to fix the bridge, and then it opens up the other half there, and we have a lot more to forage, so I like that. But yeah, so then they do the stuff that kind of makes money quickly. So my quantities tend to be higher. So when I make money, I make a lot of money usually. Oop, cam's broken. Hold on. Hold on. Did that count as meeting Pam? Yes, that counted as meeting Pam. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, lately I've been running into this thing where you can't interact with Pam, probably because she's watching her shows or whatever. But you can still give her a gift, and if she's out and about, you can still interact with her, but Pam's kind of a couch potato. So it ends up being difficult to find Pam unless you're at the saloon. We're just going to put away the bamboo pole for now. Oh, and the clay. Got to put away the clay. So we're going to ship off the clam and the leek. And I'm going to try and clear up some more of this mess right now, I think. Just so we kind of have an area to work with. And, oop, we got a geode. So that's good. Geodes are nice. You know, early in the game you end up, taking a lot of the geodes. You get them... I don't want to say deciphered, but I can't think of a different word. Identified. Identified is the word I'm looking for. So you get them identified, and you end up just throwing a lot of them into the museum, or at least I do, because I'm kind of a completionist like that. I usually hold on to whatever would be useful for bundles, so like aquamarine and I think topaz. But probably like fire crystals and stuff like that. The first ones that I run into, I'm probably going to hold on to, just for the sake of completing bundles quickly. But that's just because, oh hey look, it's a little mousy friend. The teleport location. Ooh, and worms. We like worms. Yeah, so today I'm just going to kind of be focusing on, first off, not passing out. I have to keep an eye on that energy. But, I would also like to go and actually meet Sebastian, like I said I was going to yesterday. But ended up forgetting about, because I get distracted with things. Yeah, so in the past, I have gone after Shane, and the rocker guy. What's his name? I don't think I've met him yet. No, this guy right here, this handsome gent. Just because he's kind of a skater and a bad boy. I don't know. He appealed to me for some reason, so I went after him. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, everybody's got their own preferences, you know. I kind of like a little bit of a... alternative look, despite not really living the lifestyle, I guess. But hey, that's okay. You know, we like what we like. The heart wants what the heart wants. So we got 79 pieces of wood today. Not bad. We can... Oh, if we hurry, we can go get this geode identified, and then we can swing up and go talk to Sebastian. Because he should come out of his dark, dank basement by that point, hopefully. It's the dream, right? I might actually also wait until nighttime today. Not super late. But if we're gonna go see Sebastian anyways... Oh, here he is. What's his name? Sam! Sam was his name. Sam's a good name. We'll talk to his little brother too, if we haven't already. Oh, and Jazz is here. Alright. Did we make it? Did we make it? Yes. Okay. So we'll process this geode, the jagoite. So I've only ever done the good, quote unquote, playthrough of this game where you end up completing all the bundles and like saving the town. And you know, not that there's anything wrong. Well, the game doesn't want you to do a Joja playthrough, I guess. Just kind of the way it feels like they punish you for doing a Joja playthrough. I feel like it... I mean, the payoff's not good. Let's be real. So... there's worms. I want to get the worms. But... Oh, yeah, no. So the game kind of punishes you for going through the Joja route. And if I remember correctly, the only actual reward, quote unquote, for that is a Joja Cola vending machine, which is not great, let's face it. Where's Sebastian? Oh, he's still typing away. So we're just gonna wait here. But yeah, so they end up giving you a Joja Cola vending machine, and I mean, even the game identifies the actual Joja Cola as a trash item, like kind of like a "why would you put that in your body" sort of thing. That, and I really just don't like the guy in charge of Joja Mart. He's kind of a jerk. I mean, he comes into this tiny little town and tries to make the whole thing corporate, and it's just a small town. My mindset on that was that I always compared it to like Walmart. Oh, here comes Sebastian. This little thing he's got up here kind of looks like Patrick from SpongeBob to me, anyway. Alright, so we got Sebastian. Ooh, we can get Linus as well while we're up here, if he's around. Can't... Yep, there he is. Nope, come back, come back. He's a nice guy. He wears all leaves, I guess. But he's a nice guy. He means well. Ooh, we got a leak. Sebastian's going to go brood up by the lake. Yeah, we can eat the leek so that we can get the worms. Because worms are important. Except when they give you clay. There we go, prehistoric hand axe. Not bad, not bad. Gives us something else to donate to the museum. So we're going to go hang out in the saloon. Just say hi to a couple folks and, you know, kind of try and check off some of this list. Oh, there's Clint. Let's see. Who haven't we spoken with? Hey, yeah, and see, here's a Joja Cola vending machine. Nobody wants that. That's gross. I may eventually be willing to do, like, an evil, quote-unquote, playthrough where, you end up supporting Joja Mart, but that's not in the cards right away, I'd say. Something that I haven't read the patch notes in a while, so forgive me if they've updated this. But something that used to bother me about a co-op playthrough was that only the hosting player, like the main person, was able to see the bundles. And I want to say they fixed that. But I know when I was playing a while ago with my brother, and it was just one of those things, you know, where we just kind of tried to complete them, but I know more about the game than he does, despite not really knowing much. And so I was socking all these things away for a rainy day. Oh, the crows. Ooh, forgot about the crows. Yeah, I planted some stuff too early. I forgot about the crows. Um, oh yeah, I know. So I was socking all this stuff away for kind of, a rainy day. And when it came time to do the bundles, he was like, "Oh, that's what all that garbage you had been saving was for." And I was like, "Hey man, it's not garbage. Like, we worked hard for this stuff." He goes, "Well, I didn't want to tell you, but I've been picking through it." And it was fine. It was alright. It didn't take too long. But he was keeping an eye on it. He was making sure I was being productive, is the way I'm going to put that. And, despite keeping, like, the pine cones and stuff like that, I mean, I don't have much interest in sap other than the fact that it sells for, like, 1 gold a piece, I think. And I know it's used for some stuff, but not really my bag. Yeah, no, he was just making sure I was being productive, is the way I'm going to look at that. Let's go up this way. Yes, alright. Read Grandpa's letter. He's coming back on the dawn of our 3rd year. We've got some time to be impressive. Not bad. I kind of like the way this farm is laid out, though. It's, well, so far. I haven't seen the whole thing, so I really can't say. But so far, so good. Oh, so despite keeping the seeds, I end up not really planting them. I tend to actually turn them into field snacks for when I'm in the mine, because that extra boost of energy is really nice when you're down there. And they're actually really good for it. Because the trees, if I remember correctly, at the beginning of each season or year, end up, like, re-upping themselves, So that's good. It means you're never stuck, Oh, I haven't been keeping an eye on the energy. Alright, that's all we can do for today, as far as that goes. I am going to plant these mixed seeds. I am going to drop a lot of this stuff. See, we're at 218 already. And then I'm going to swing by and I'm going to grab all that sap and those maple seeds and acorns. Again, for the probably the explicit purpose of making field snacks. Field snacks, yeah, 45 energy, 18 health. So, not bad, considering they're made out of things that I wouldn't normally use. Alright, tomorrow we should be able to harvest the parsnips. And once we harvest the parsnips, we'll gain the ability to make a scarecrow. Once we make the scarecrow, we don't have to worry about that jerk crow eating all of our expensive seeds that I was an idiot and I planted. 3 sardine. Not worried about you. Alright, we're going to drop off this prehistoric hand axe. Just gonna get that out of the way. And then we're gonna go down to the beach and we're gonna forage a little bit. Oh, and there's a flower right over there. Daffodil. It's been a while. I'm sorry if I forget some of the names of these things. I just kind of have an idea of where they tend to be, and especially on the beach, because the beach is just big and open, and I like to check that the first couple days and just grab some stuff for a little extra boost of money. What's really nice is once you get the other half of the beach opened up, and then if you level up foraging enough, you can get the ability to basically, when you pick something up, it's actually two. And that's really nice, especially when they're good quality items. Hey, Paranoiac, how's it going? So, yeah, we're just doing a little bit of foraging right now, kind of seeing what's going on. We're still early, we're in day 3, waiting for some parsnips to grow and enjoying this awful, awful weather. Ooh. Did you end up sleeping late, or do you work nights or something like that? Glad to hear you're doing well, though. Oh, horseradish. That's great for a bundle. That, I think, completes our spring foraging bundle, which is good. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully you can just kind of wake up a little bit and relax and kind of try and get your evening rolling. I'm glad to have you, so thank you. I cannot, for the life of me, remember on what day the spring onions... Oh, well, I guess there's some already. We don't need them for anything. They're just nice to sell. Everything for foraging is pretty much just nice to sell, and it's a good way to kind of pad out your day a little bit. But I remember there's one day, or not one day specifically, but there's a day later in spring where there's just a buttload of spring onions down there. And I don't even think they're worth that much, but it's not a bad thing to have. Let's see, who haven't we met yet? Alright, not bad. We can swing up by Robin's place and meet Robin, and some of the foraging stuff is good for that, like well, nothing in spring from the looks of it. I may have lied. Dandelions aren't bad, but I was saying a little bit earlier, I like to make the field snacks, because if you're clearing the farm anyways and you're getting some of the crafting materials there, the acorns, the maple seeds, and the pine cones, I personally have a tendency not to use them unless I'm super desperate for a tree, which doesn't really happen. So I end up doing the field snacks so that I can use those while I'm mining. Or if I've got like a long day where I'm trying to get a lot done. But yeah, the foraging stuff isn't necessarily bad to keep, and it's a nice little thing to kind of have sitting around. Yeah, definitely useful. But early on, I think it's because you can't go and mine really anyways because your energy pool is so low. I think it's more useful early on to save what you need for the foraging bundle, and then just kind of dump the rest into the oh, he's not here. Dump the rest into the bin. I don't know why I had such a hard time thinking of the word bin. I can't remember where that guy is. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the follow, most definitely. Yes, you are. And thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Um, you're both my first watcher and my first follower. I actually decided that I was going to try my hand at streaming, so I'm very glad to have you. I'm kind of working up the page a little bit still. But yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it, and I'm very glad to have you, so thank you. Let's see, is it supposed to rain tomorrow? Ah, poo. Alright, well hopefully the parsnips are grown tomorrow. I can't remember, I know they take 4 days to grow, but I can't remember if they end up growing on the 4th day or the 5th day, officially. We're gonna find out though, I suppose. I might consider it, if anything, just for the bundles. Sorry, I'm trying to read at the same time. Oh yeah, he gives me the furnace blueprints here. I end up trying to do a lot of the crop farming as a primary source of money. And I was actually saying earlier, when I tend to do co-ops, I end up sinking a lot of time and energy into the actual farming aspect of the game, which isn't always great for the bank account, especially since it's shared. I usually do, but I also like to get bundle completion, so I tend to have animals laying around, and I love artisan goods. I end up doing a lot with the artisan goods, you know, get the mayonnaise machines or the cheese press or things like that going, where it's just that easy money, where yeah, I like to build like a shed with pickling jars and the kegs and that kind of good stuff too. So the way I end up doing it ends up being a little bit slower as far as money goes, but when I get paid, I really get paid. But it's been a while since I've played, so I kind of trying to remember some things. I know some stuff changed. I'm excited to eventually check out the night market, I think it's called. That whole event sounds really cool to me. And there's actually something similar around where I live, which I've also been meaning to check out. So I think that'd be a really cool thing to look into as far as gameplay goes. I can't remember where this girl is. I know the other guy runs the pharmacy, but I can't for the life of me remember where this girl... I know where she lives. I just can't remember what her... I guess her schedule. I know she kind of hangs out down here. I might just awkwardly sit outside of her house until she shows up. Yeah, she doesn't even have a time of day, because I've never actually been friends with her. Hate to say it. She's just kind of been like a check mark on the pile, you know? Where, I don't know, I know you need to be friends with her to get into her house, and I know she kind of tends to hang out in this area. But I don't know much more about her. I think she's named Leah? I don't know why she'd be in Marnie's ranch, but I'm looking anyways. Probably just gonna end up going and saying hello to the pharmacist and just kind of find her when I find her. Um, lest I end up pulling up her schedule, which also sounds kind of creepy. But, oh, I like the little bird tweet noise. Alright, let's find the doctor. There he is. Yeah, I mean, she's okay. I don't know, as far as the females in the game go, I've heard Penny's got some good story behind her. I know Emily was added as like a romantic option after the fact, but I've always kind of, as far as the girls go, I kind of fall in line with Abigail with the whole science and astronomy thing. I think that's really cool, and it kind of gives her a little bit of depth. Or am I thinking Maru? Who am I thinking of? Is that... Is that Maru? It's been a hot minute, and it's showing. Yeah, that's Maru. Alright, well, then I meant Maru. Sorry. Okay, so Leah's awake. We know she's awake. So where is she? Just kind of gazing longingly into her, into her... Oh, there she is. We found her. Got her. Yeah, I knew she liked to hang out down here. Just, I don't know why. She's never really stood out to me. Alright, so yeah, all we have left is the wizard to meet, which is a whole scripted thing, so we're not too worried about that. Kind of chunk some of this stuff up so we can make it up to the top here. Nah, I'm gonna leave the grass. So I've actually never played on the Riverland farm. So I'm not... Sam is nice. Sam was actually my first, first, like, husband in this game. And I actually have a tendency to go for Shane. If I'm going through and I want to play somebody that I like, and I don't know why Shane necessarily appeals to me, probably because he's damaged. I want to fix him, you know? But, yeah, I end up tending to go for Shane, and he's got similar interests to me. Video games and booze, so, can't really go wrong there. But I don't know, I find him not super relatable because he's got kind of a damaged story going on. And, nobody likes to think of themselves as damaged, but I don't know, I like him, and his gifts are easy. It's kind of funny because when I'm actively pursuing Shane, I'll go out and buy 2 beers at noon when the saloon opens, and then 2 random days out of the week I end up just standing down by Marnie's ranch and handing him the beers at like 8:30 in the morning. It's always the first thing I do on those days. And I feel a little bad, because this story has a lot to do with actual alcoholism. But, I mean, you like what you like, right? As far as the bachelors go, I think Sam and Shane are the only 2 I've actually gone after, thinking about it. I think I specifically avoid Sebastian because Sebastian has hard gifts. As lazy as that sounds of me. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like Shane. But of course, I'm always open to suggestions. So, oh, we have a 300 piece of wood. Yeah, I was having problems. I think I may have been trying to get to him before. Yeah, Shane's really easy to interact with because he's you can catch him on his way to and from Joja Mart. So he's really easy to get to. But Sebastian, I think, has a really weird schedule where he's not available until after, I think I just saw it was 6. And a lot of my stuff tends to happen early. And he's got hard gifts. And yeah, I mean, until you can go into his room, it's just difficult. But Sam was good. I did enjoy Sam's story. There we go. Alright, so now we've got that fixed up. That's a little bit more money. Do I have energy? Yes, I do. Alright, we'll get some glass shards from the beach. It's kind of a dangerous beach, apparently. Yeah, a lot of this coral. Just fine. But, oh, Gunther probably won't be at the museum. We can take care of that tomorrow. But, oh, he's another one that I've never wooed. Elliot? I've never really gone after him. And I don't know much about him other than the fact that he's a writer. I just, something about the swoop thing that he's got going on. He always kind of reminded me of, like they tried to design him after, Fabio. Like old school 90s Fabio, just not as, like, buff, you know? That could just be me. I don't actually know. But let's see, how'd we do today? More foraging skill. Never a bad thing. Made a little bit of money, which is good. Alright. No recipes yet, huh? I'm sure all of this is scripted. Ooh, we get the doggo. I mean, yeah, I've got kind of a thing for damaged people, and apathy is always, I don't know, that's a whole thing. But, well, since you are my first follower, and, you know, all that good stuff, would you like to name the dog? Andrew? Absolutely. If you don't mind my asking, is that your name? Our happy little Andrew doggo. Oh. Okay. Well, nothing wrong with that. It's a good name. It's actually the name of my roommate, is Andrew. Who's a nice guy. Put a little bit of water in Andrew's bowl. Alright, we can harvest, which is good. Oh no! Did you lose it when you were little, or did you lose it in a move or something like that? Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's always hard to lose something sentimental like that. I've actually got a fair amount of stuffed animals myself. I enjoy them. I find them comforting. So I understand that kind of loss where something special to you is gone. Sorry, I was doing some counting right there. Alright. Well, have you gotten anything to, I know nothing could really replace, Andrew, but have you kind of found something else that brings you some comfort like that? Because I think items like that are very important. Oh, well, good. Yeah, I like cats. I've actually been thinking about getting one myself. And Jack is a good cat name. Let's give Gunther our glass shards here. So it's hours of fun, is what you're saying, because cats love counters. So I'm sure you hear, I'm sure you hear that or get to yell that a lot throughout your day. Well, good. Just once again, checking the beach. I know only a couple things wash up here each day, but money's money. I'm gonna end up buying some seeds today, too. I was just kind of doing this as a time filler until Pierre's shop opened up. So... Who do you usually end up befriending in town? I know different people give different gifts and stuff like that. I usually kind of pick a few people that I want their gifts, but I'm trying not to look up so much this time around. But yeah, I'm curious, who do you enjoy befriending, or their stories, or anything like that? Because they did a really good job with the writing and the narrative in this game, I'd say. Clint is a nice guy. I've actually never gotten that far into Clint's story, so I may have to befriend him this time around. I'm gonna end up having to look up some stuff eventually, but I'm trying to avoid it as best I can. But yeah, Clint is a really nice guy. I like him. And he's very genuine but shy, from what I've been able to discern, I guess. And it's good that he does a service for the town. You know, not everybody necessarily has the town's best interest at heart. The Joja people especially, except for Shane. Shane just doesn't care. But I know a lot more about him. than I do about Clint. Does Clint like the like ores and stuff like that, or does he? I don't mean to generalize him as a person. I'm just kind of making assumptions based on what he does for a living, which, you know, you can't really do all the time. It's not the greatest thing. I'm gonna try and break some rocks. Maybe see if we can't get this, Okay. So, I wasn't wrong. My terrible, terrible generalization of a human, well, digital human, was not incorrect. Just to kind of go hang out and see him afterwards and pay his shop a visit. Hey, he's not a bad guy. Do you get rewarded a little bit for giving him better ores? Like, so would iridium versus like copper, I guess. We're getting some good mixed seeds out of this random chopping down of things. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That was a waste of energy. Alright. Well, I may, once I start going mining, I may have to befriend him. Ideally, I would like to be friends with everybody in town. But I know that ends up being a little difficult to maintain. Although I think once you get to having a moment. I think once you get to max level friendship, that it doesn't decay. But I could be mistaken. We're gonna plant these random seeds we got here real quick. Oh, that's clay. Alrighty. Drop some of this stuff off. And I think I'm actually going to take some of that wood that I got. Oh no, I didn't get nearly enough because I wasn't actually going for the wood. We're going to go to sleep. I think I'm going to make another another chest to kind of dump all the stuff that I'm saving for bundles into. Just kind of get some of that stuff out of the way. Spreading weeds. Okay, not up here. Not up here is important. Let's see. 50 wood, 1 coal, 20 fiber. Alright, we're gonna make a scarecrow today. I'm getting sick of the coming out here and having all my stuff eaten. I don't think I've ever seen the weeds event either. That may be new. Either that or they just want me to go and gather up fiber. If that is the kind of, I don't know, kind of way the game is pushing you. I know I just looked at this, but 50 wood, 1 coal, 1 fiber. Or, I'm sorry, 20 fiber. Alright, we're making a scarecrow today. Say hello to Andrew, give him some water. we're gonna chop down some trees. Yeah, we'll get that scarecrow quickly. Then we can kind of... Oh, I've already gone that way. We can kind of move on to bigger and better things, but it takes a while to get spring cleared. You know, I kind of see spring as a bit of a formality, kind of set up what route you want to go with things, maybe who you want to hang out with, and kind of figure out just kind of the direction the game's going to take you. But let's see, we'll put the scarecrow there. Sorry, I was just checking something there. Let's see. Raising animals, build a coop. Oh, we can... I might go up to Robin and see what it would take to build a silo. Because I get nervous about cutting down all this grass when there's nowhere to put all the food. Yes. Spring is kind of like homework. It's a little bit like a chore. You know, you don't really want to do it, and it drags on for a little longer than you want to, but it's okay. You get it out of the way. There's a lot to do in summer in this game, just because everything's kind of happening. You know, that's the best season for growing crops. Winter tends to be kind of wake up and go back to bed, just like real life. But I really like fall in general. Oh, not what I wanted. Both in the game and in real life. I think fall is... we need those copper bars. Kind of checking... Oh, right, you can make cabins now, too, for your friends. Oh, and an extra shipping bin. I forgot about that. Okay, so we need to get bars. But yeah, so anyway, sorry. Yeah, it tends to be my favorite season because the air gets a little cooler, and yeah, I'm from the Chicagoland area, and we get kind of like this weird second go, I guess, at summer, and it usually only lasts a week or two. But man, like, we just got through it. Right now it's about 50-something degrees outside, if I'm not mistaken. But last week, the sun was a deadly laser. It wanted everybody dead. There were no clouds in the sky. There was no... Like, none of the kids that normally are playing outside were playing outside. You know, it killed a lot of my plants. I garden out on my balcony. And it was just... brutal. Absolutely brutal. What was I doing? I was doing something. We need bars. That's what I was doing. I was going to break more rocks. Yeah! I was really excited. I was really excited when I started gardening. Yeah, it's not difficult. I suggest you get something that's a little hardy. You know, can stand up to, I don't want to say neglect, but some neglect if you're new to it, just because you don't want to have kind of that disappointment of things not turning out quite right. But I absolutely recommend getting into gardening, because it doesn't take that long every day, and you'd be surprised kind of what you learn about... like biology and the way living things work, just by dabbling in a little bit of gardening. But I was growing orange peppers. I was growing watermelons. I grew lavender. I grew some mint. I had some other plants out there. Been a hot minute. But yeah, so I had a squirrel that I'm up on the 3rd floor, and the squirrel kept coming by, and he'd grab the watermelons and take off with them when they were like little itty bitty things, and it was making me really mad, and I couldn't figure out why he kept going after the watermelons in particular, and it ended up being like they were the absolute perfect size for his little hands, and I'd find them on the balcony, like he had taken them and busted them open, and he had eaten everything inside of them. And so what I ended up doing was I actually ended up feeding this squirrel. I'd put birdseed out there so that he would stop taking my watermelons. But I mean, that's just kind of what you have to do sometimes, is, you know, deal with the forces of nature. But we actually, oh, we can go to Clint. I've got these geodes. We can go to Clint. But I ended up not being able to harvest the watermelons because it actually got like this, it was like a fungus, but it's like a parasitic fungus where it ends up, it lives in the stem of like the vine, and what it does is it just blocks all of the water flow to the actual watermelons, to the fruit part, and so it we missed it by like 10 minutes. So it ends up making the actual plants on the watermelon not be able to grow, unfortunately. So we didn't get to harvest them, but I left them there, and the squirrel did take them. He enjoyed them quite a bit, because I found them busted open nearby. So at least somebody got to enjoy them, right? But the orange peppers came out nice. There was a lot of bees. Yeah, well, I mean, he enjoyed them though. You can't really fault him for that, you know. And he's just trying to do. Oh, yeah, I don't get along with bees. Oh. Alright, we got our first recipe. Stir fry. Not bad. Say hello to Andrew for the day. Yeah, so as a result of the... Sorry, having a moment. Oh, she says the well's available. But so as a result of having my little garden, I also ended up attracting a hive of yellow jackets. And the yellow jackets decided they were going to set up shop right above, like, the sliding door right over there. Oops, sorry. Right above the sliding door over there. And I was not too thrilled about that. Ended up having like they live in an apartment complex, so I ended up telling maintenance about it, and they got a hold of their pest control guys, and the pest control guy came in and sprayed the heck out of the thing. And so we were okay for a little while, but what ended up happening was they were still swarming for a couple days after the pest control guy had sprayed them. And so I wasn't able to go out there beyond like nighttime for a couple days. where I would just kind of go out, water the plants, check on them and make sure everything was okay. And so I'd go outside at nighttime and I'd do that, and then I'd come right back in. And what had ended up happening is they actually set up a new hive like a little bit further down the awning of the apartment complex. And at first that was fine by me, but now actually in the corner up there, I actually have duct tape on the ceiling because I kept finding bees, like yellow jackets, in the apartment, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me where they were coming from. And it ended up that this little bit of like drywall in the ceiling had been pushed away or chewed away, and I actually had to like get up in there and take a look at it, and it's like honeycomb, like the yellow jacket version of like a honeycomb. And so they just, sorry, I thought I saw something off on the side there. They they ended up setting shop up in the wall, I guess, which is a little bit scary. But I've yet to be stung by one. For all the issues that I've had with having them up there, they really haven't bothered me, like, personally, which I suppose I should count my blessings and just be thankful for it. But I'm not looking to get stung. Nobody's, well, aside from, like, that one guy on YouTube who was well behaved. Ooh, gotta keep an eye on this here. Alright, good. We're good. Good, I'm glad you appreciated the pun, because I was like, this is gonna be 50-50 right here. We're gonna see how this goes. But yeah, no, it's just, nobody wants to be stung. But at the same time, I've got like this foaming glass cleaner that, I don't know, it does something to them. It doesn't kill them, but it like prevents them from flying, and it prevents them from escaping it. And so it's just been super nice. Because if they pop up, I just like spray the heck out of them, and that's kind of the end of that. And then I grab some toilet paper and flush them down the toilet, because I don't know what else to do with them. Because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna put them back outside or whatever. If it was like a bumblebee, I would, but it's a yellow jacket, and they are not friends. And the big fuzzy guys are good for the garden, and they're not actively trying to hurt you, and yellow jackets are just an angry ball of rage. So I do my best to just kind of let them be. Alright, here's your guy. We got Clint, who found us some coal and limestone. He's doing his best. Can I explore the mines this early? Did he say that I could when he came by the other day? I've been so busy just trying to talk the whole time that I haven't actually been reading half the stuff. That's fine. We're just gonna wander up there and see if we can get in there. Not that I'm necessarily able to do anything today up there, but never a bad idea to just go check. So we'll see. I know we can't do bundles yet. So yeah, build a coop, craft a furnace, greet the wizard. Oop. I did see something. It wasn't a bee, though. nighttime. This one was a moth. There's like this tiny little gap in the... Yeah, we can get in there. There's this tiny little gap in the sliding glass door that leads to the balcony. And it's not where the bees were... The yellow jackets, sorry. It's not where the yellow jackets were getting in. But, I had my theories about it for a little while. Thinking that it was. But every now and then, because I've got that bright light on behind me, so that you can see decently. And yeah, every now and then that bright light kind of brings them in. They slip through the door crack there. But oh, my roommate's home. That's Andrew's here. He just came home from work. Drop some stuff off. Why can't I remember? 20 copper ore, 25 stone. 3 copper ore. Yeah, we would have to go to the mines for that, but we can. We can go to the mines, so that's half the battle. Andrew's home. Alright. Hi, Jack. Well, good. Now I've got 2 viewers. I'm glad. So are you just kind of relaxing tonight? Hanging out with Jack and taking it easy? Ooh, we got potatoes. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see, what day is it? I can't even remember. Oh, it's Sunday. Do you have school tomorrow? Not that I'm... Oh, what kind of cat is Jack? I meant to ask. Like, what does Jack look like? While we water these crops. We'll get Andrew some water. Oh, tabbies are so beautiful. They have really cool coloration on them. Especially the orange ones. They kind of end... Sometimes they look like tigers with the stripes. I think that's really cool. And I gotcha. There's nothing wrong with that. Definitely a different way to do school, and I went to public school myself, and it's honestly, it's not for everybody. It's I much rather would have been in sort of a program like that where I could kind of do things without having to deal with the folks at the school necessarily, because they weren't always the best, you know. Anyways, we are going to check out the community center, because that way we can meet the wizard, and that completes a couple other quests. And I'm also going to push down into the mines, I believe. Not super far. Just hopefully far enough to find a couple copper nodes where we can maybe get that furnace built and kind of start moving things along there too. But yeah, well, that's really cool, and Jack sounds adorable, so I'm glad. The short hairs don't shed as much, right? Like how short is short? Is it super short? I'm asking because I've been interested in potentially getting a cat. Um, but I grew up only having dogs, so I actually don't know that much about um, like how short a short hair is or anything like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, because that was kind of, I'll be honest, that was actually a concern that I had was if I got a cat, then I'd be concerned that there would kind of be cat hair on everything. Because that's how it was with like the dogs that I had. Even though they were short hair, I'd find like so they were short hair, but they were shedders, if that makes sense. So we ended up with just dog hair on everything. And not that there's anything wrong with dogs, just you don't want dog hair on, black clothes or anything like that. So you end up having to be super careful when you're doing your laundry. Oh, I forgot I said I was going to make a second thing. Let's get rid of the daffodil. Oh, let's get rid of the sap too. We want those geodes. Definitely want those geodes. Oh, that was a weird hitbox. Okay. Yeah, I end up only really going to the mines to unlock, like, the areas. And then I just kind of end up coming back here when I need something specific. So to upgrade tools, I end up a little utilitarian that way. And I try and steer clear of that, because I know it's kind of a cool place to be sometimes. This or, like, the Skull Caverns. But they kind of, well, this area anyway, just ends up serving a purpose for me instead of being kind of like a go. I know people can make money in the mines. They do a really nice job of it. But I tend not to try and put all my eggs in that basket, I guess. Where I focus a lot on selling the gems and stuff. But I know we need, it's 10 bat wings, 99 slime, or 1 void, 1 dawn essence for a bundle. Yeah, and that's the problem, is I don't really want to end up here all the time. We are literally 1 away here. That's absolute. I'm gonna do my best not to be. Ooh, earth crystal. We can use that. I'm actually gonna eat this gross algae. Nothing like algae you found in a cave to keep you moving, right? But I'm gonna try and get another earth crystal, hopefully. I mean, don't knock it till you try it, I guess, right? Because he seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. Not something I personally would want to eat, but I mean, hey, again, like we were saying earlier, when we were talking about our bachelors, to each their own, right? If that's the life he feels like leading, by all means. Okay, good. able to make it around that. You just put the thought in my head that it would be minty. You know how gross that would be? Like minty slime? Yeah, I would not be, look, now we're not even going to pick it up. Forget that. We're over that. We're better than that. We don't need to eat the algae we find in the cave. Alright, let's see. I wasn't going to go to 10. I just wanted to get the copper, but now I think I might actually go down to 10. I want that. Alright. We're going to do away with the slime. Because this topaz, not bad, you know, early on. Not the greatest, not something you want to go specifically to the mines to get, but we can donate one and sell the other one and get some more copper along the way. Ooh. Right there, ready to go. I want the copper. Alright, this is going to be utility here. We're going to try and get this ladder as quick as we can because we're low on energy. It's getting a little late in the day. So I don't have dogs currently. It was where I was living before, and we actually had a backyard for the dogs. So the dogs would end up going outside to do their business in the backyard. But that is I think I've been a little scarred by the thought of like the pea pads because growing up we had this lady who lived across the street and she did not take good care of the animals she had. She had a lot of dogs and a lot of cats. And I used to mow the lawn for her. And she ended up putting newspapers down on the floor and would just like let them go on the newspapers. So you'd walk in to her place and it would just be this overwhelming stench of just I forgot there's a thing here. This overwhelming stench of like just pee, and it wouldn't be great. Ooh, nope. Okay, hold on. Wait here. There we go. Alright. We're gonna throw that on the floor. We're gonna throw that on the floor. We're gonna pick up the boots, put on the boots, and then get the sword back. Good. Good stuff. But yeah, so you'd go to her place and it would just be this horrendous, awful smell. So I've been a little scarred by pea pads, is the short answer, I guess. Though, no, they did not. I don't think I mind the litter box so much. Like, I've been to people's houses that have had cats with litter boxes, and that wasn't so bad, I think, just because they make those with, like, odor eliminating stuff, usually, hopefully, ideally. To the point where it's not the worst. Most of the time. Let's kind of shove this up in the corner here. But yeah, so I know, it was weird too, because when they knocked down her house finally, after she had passed away after all those years, Somebody had bought the plot of land and they knocked her house down, and it actually had just like this flood of mice came out. And then we had mice in the garage. Our neighbors had mice in their shed. There was just mice everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Now, nice lady, though. And paid me to mow the lawn. So. There was like this little stream in her backyard, and she'd have us mow it every 2 weeks, my brother and I. And, it was always just really difficult to mow because of the stream that was back there. It made the grass grow super fast to the point where it was just, the lawnmower was just revving up and down and up and down. And it'd choke out the lawnmower, and then you'd have to sit there and take all the gunk out of the lawnmower. But it wasn't my lawnmower, and we got paid for it. So, kind of trying to smelt some copper bars. We're gonna hold on to 1 for the bundle. But a lot of this stuff we don't necessarily need. Gonna hold on to the earth crystals, because earth crystals are always useful. Gonna hold on to the coal. The geodes will get figured out. Well, I guess the quartz we can hold on to, too. Yeah, alright. I don't actually know what I'm doing with all this junk. We'll put 1 topaz in there. That's what we'll do. Alrighty, well, it's a little after 11:30 here tonight, so I do think I'm going to call it after the first week here in game. I just wanted to say thank you again. It was so nice talking with you, and I'm working on kind of fleshing out the panels and stuff on my page a little bit. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more of like a solid stream schedule, where it can be followed a little bit. But it's all going to depend on my work schedule for the week. It's mostly going to be at night. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again for following, and you've been a pleasure to talk with. And I look forward to talking with you again. So we're going to get this all set up on day 9 here. So the progress has been saved. And I hope you and Jack have a great night, and thank you very much. Talk to you soon.